back, I think what has made me the person I am today is, struggle and the desire to become better. I grew up being a bit challenged. There was a little bit of bullying, but I used that. I turned that as a positive experience, and to prove to everybody around me that I actually can be better than all of them. And that drive, I guess, in a way, turns into an ambition for me to be successful. And I guess through my journey in developing myself, then I start to realize that I have many weaknesses. I have many areas that I needed to improve. So I started to push myself to go beyond my comfort zone, to being able to do things that I actually don't want to do, that I'm afraid of. But I always have this mentality that the worst thing that can happen is that you fail, right? I watch and I learn from a lot of people, and I keep on pushing myself to go above a certain bar so I can actually always improve myself. So for me, the secret to balance it all is, number one, a great support system. Make it at work or at home. I think it's very important to build a team that can support you and sustain you. I'm blessed to have a supportive husband, extended family, and helpers to enable me to have my career. Number two, I think managing an organization and managing a household is pretty much the same. Time management becomes very, very key. So for me, I actually bucket everything into one big bucket, and I just try to juggle everything as much as possible. But I enjoy doing that. And number three, I think in the era that women are expected to have it all or to be able to do it all, we have to sometimes accept the fact that I think we can't have it all perfectly, but we can have it all with a little bit of sacrifice here and there. So being able to let go some of the things that we can't manage becomes very important. So in GO-JEK, I noticed that we have a lot of female leaders, and we're very blessed to have that. And I watch them, and then I see, what are some of the things that make them really, really great. I see that a lot of them are very persistent. They have the grit. They stand up every time they fail. They dust themselves off and they get back again. They're very collaborative. They're an amazing multitasker. They're hardworking, and they're strong-willed. And I think those are all the important factors in becoming a successful leader. I think the hardest challenge in becoming a woman leader is, defying social expectation. And number two, with the lack of female leadership, a lot of women sort of fall in the trap of thinking that they have to join this male club, right? And going back to point number one about social expectation, I think, women are expected to have a career, to become a good mother, to become a good wife, and that puts a lot of pressure on women, right? They think that they have to be able to manage all of this perfectly. We are our hardest critic, and but we also have to ask the question, why are we being our hardest critic, right? Being able to overcome that, it's a mindset. It's a mindset that we ourselves have to overcome. And I think being able to stand up to that and saying that, you know what you want and you will find a way to manage it, even though it's not perfectly, becomes very important. Number two, I think, in being able to not fall into the trap of, joining this men's club per se, right? It's important that you know who you are and you stand up for what you believe in. I think if that is very, very clear for you, you are able to come across as being firm but not aggressive. And you know, I think with a lot of things, having an open mind and a great sense of humor comes a long way in dealing with a lot of uncomfortable situations that sometimes you'll be put in. I think number one, really know what you want and what you stand for. By being able to do that, then you know you come across as being not fearless in a way that's intimidating, but you know you really stand for what you believe in, and I think that's important. And number two is actually to keep your mindset and not change it until the time comes. So for example, right, you know, I see that a lot of women, once they get married, then you know, because of the social pressure or expectation of you to become a good housewife or then a good mother and so on and so forth, then makes a lot of women take a step back in their career, right? But sometimes the way I see it, you can give your best in both aspects, right? And I think that becomes key. And you know, don't take a step back before things actually happen.